Welcome to Eggcellent Adventures, where I, your host Reec Swiney, take a step away from my duties as a radio and TV personality and give you a first-hand look at my other love, backyard chickens and homesteading. Take a listen to conversations I have with others who are in farming, homesteading, and connected brands. And some of those conversations go a little like this.
She does say I have too much, though. She says I have too many, but I don't think I have enough.
The chicken math started mathing.
Yep, it's never ending.
I only started with like 4 laying hens. Now I have over 100 chickens and geese and quail.
So the first question we ask everybody that comes on to the Eggcellent Adventures, what was your old cluck moment?
The first thing that comes to mind is when the first time I got locked inside one of my own chicken coops.
We talk about the highs, the lows, and everything in between. Now let's see who's on this episode of Eggcellent Adventures. Another episode again of Eggcellent Adventures. We have another special guest. This time, this lady is saving fingers, hands, knuckles, everything in between. Dr. Laura's here. You've seen her on television. You've seen her on your social media feeds. And about 400,000 people per year could use her product. Let's talk to her. Let's meet her. Let's figure out how this thing got started, where it's going, and every little furry thing in between that she's saving. Welcome to the show, Dr. Laura. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm great. Thank you so much for having me on the show. It's really nice to be here. Thank you.
Our pleasure. First of all, we always say our first question is always like, what was your old cluck moment? What was the moment that you say, I'm a chicken person, but you are a veterinarian, a world-renowned veterinarian now, because everybody knows you, they see your face. So what was that moment that you realized you wanted to be an animal savior?
That's an excellent question. So, growing up, I was never allowed to have pets. Well, I had fish. I had like a little iguana. It wasn't until I was graduated from college that it was my final weeks at an undergrad, and I adopted my first dog. And
okay.
so that's what really hooked it in for me. I always was interested in veterinary medicine, but it was just adopting my first rescue dog. Zeppelin was his name.
Okay.
And that's what solidified the plan for me to go to vet school. Yeah.
Oh, that is an amazing story. You got to say you saved a dog, you saved his life, made his life great, gave him a home, and then you're like, you know what, I'm going to vet school.
Yeah, I really just wanted to continue. I always had been interested in medicine, but really wanted to work with animals, a little more than people. So I felt like it was the perfect mix for me.
I get it. The more animals I get, the more I understand that sentiment.
Yeah.
I love that. So your old cluck moment came from some Zeppelin.
Yes, from Zeppelin. Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. That is so awesome. So that's what happens when you get adult time and money.
Yes, I know. I was waitressing 2 jobs, and I'm like, I need supplies for him, and that's how it went. Yeah,
that's cool. That's cool. Let's go ahead and talk about the armor glove, because the armor hand glove, because this is what a lot of people know you for. Obviously, you're a great veterinarian, but you also have this incredible product, but it came from a personal story.
Yes.
So can you tell us about that story and what happened?
Sure, absolutely. So I was newly grad. I'd been working at an emergency vet clinic for, I think it was 6 months. Just had graduated vet school, and I had a feline patient, and the cat latched onto my left hand thumb. And in practice, we're frequently getting bit and scratched, but for me, this was a completely different experience. The next morning I woke up and the infection had spread from my thumb all the way up the left side of my neck. And my left hand was about 3 times the size of my right. And so I went into the hospital. They had to do emergency surgery that day. My joints were all infected in my hand, and the infection was taking over my body. And so I was in the hospital for a month because of a cat bite. And then I had 7 months of physical therapy in order to regain the use of my hand. And so it was a very expensive and painful injury. And because of that injury, I said, well, we need gloves in our profession to protect ourselves, in order to compassionately restrain the pets we're working with, but also to provide a level of protection for ourselves. And so that's really how the idea for Armor Hand came about. Spent next few years working on different prototypes, and now I'm selling. Have e-commerce, and I have a couple of distributors, and so it seems like people find the value in the product, and we're protecting a lot of animal lovers.
No. We won't downplay it, Doc. Small is sold out. Medium is sold
Oh,
out.
you're
Sold out. Extra large is sold out. Double XL is sold out. And then the other glove you have is sold out. It's not a small demand. People understand completely what they need, and when you've made an amazing product.
Thank you very much. No, thank you. It's been a true passion of mine, and I know I appreciate you saying that, because we are getting inventory back early August, so it's going to be here soon. But I love the feedback, and a lot of the customers I've become really close with, and they're sending me pictures of the wildlife that they rescue, and so this journey has been amazing for me to be a part of.
No, I saw Brandon Sanders, the animal. Yeah, he was on a couple of weeks ago. His episode is about to come out, but
awesome.
I saw your product on his page, and I was like, "Oh, this is the real deal." He was like, "Oh no, this works."
Yeah, he's been amazing. I mean, everybody has been so supportive, and I could not be more grateful, because I think, in practice, at least all we had were welder gloves, and they were so bulky. Nobody was wearing the gloves because you couldn't restrain properly. You couldn't really do what you needed to do. And so it's been really amazing for me that people do provide such positive feedback. And it's really helping to make a difference for how, we rescue wildlife, or how we care for patients in vet practice. I know pet owners who are immunocompromised or elderly, and they have to medicate their pet at home. It is just, it's helping them to do that and still protecting their own health. And so it's really been an incredible journey for me, for sure.
I wish I had that. I had a cat. I got a cat by accident, a while ago. The cat lived to be 17. Yeah, but I had to pill this cat. We've reached that part of the show where we hook you up with some insider information, and this time it's some egg side information. Y'all know what I mean. Because people ask me all the time, how do you get your chickens so fluffy and healthy and happy? And their eggs are so bright, beautiful, and they taste delicious too. I would love to dedicate all those things to me coming in and having a great time in that chicken coop every day and shaking it up with those ladies, but the fact is, it comes from a healthy and balanced diet of Purina's Layina. That's the brand we use. Whether you've got laying hens and you want to go with the Purina Layina plus omega-3, or you got a bunch of baby chicks running around in your brooder and you go with that Purina Start and Grow Crumble, you can't lose. I know we haven't. So visit their website today, and in 3 easy steps, you can get discount coupons for the Purina product that's right for some great nutrition for your animals. I did it myself, and it only took me about 2 minutes. It's absolutely worth it. And to make things easier, we have the hyperlink on our website, blackyardchickens.com. Just look under product of the month and you'll see the link right there to go and try your Purina Feed Greatness. And through their trial program, they can pair you with the right nutrition and let you try it with your animals and see the results. Now, I can tell you all day how Purina Feed Greatness has been absolutely phenomenal for my chickens, goats, ducks, and rabbits. But you can see for yourself. Go to blackyardchickens.com. Now let's get back to this week's adventure.
Right.
And he didn't like it.
It's tough. I agree. It's hard. It's hard on you, and it's hard on the cat you're trying to care for.
And I was not a trained professional.
Yeah. Oh.
He gave me the business every time. So I had this, like I have a mark of my lip right now because he latched on to my lip and it went through and cut my gum when I was trying to. I think I was trying to take his temperature.
Yeah, that's painful. Oh gosh.
It was, but I didn't love him any less. I just knew that nobody wants to get their temperature taken that way.
I agree 100%. Yep. They're reacting as they should be, and we can't blame them, but a lot of times they're stressed or they're scared, and we just want to care for them as compassionately as we can, but also still, like I said, we've got to protect ourselves. So
Yeah, absolutely. I love that, you being in the business and then making a product that actually works. It makes so much sense. You said the welder gloves, nobody use them. It would protect you, but you can't feel. You have these gloves, and when I look over the schematics and the sketches and I see like it has movement, you can move your fingers, your knuckles, and all of that. And then you can take the fingertips off in case you need to actually feel something. So it just makes so much sense. No, it just makes so much sense. Cause like, I know with me,
Yeah.
sometimes I have broody chickens and I just wish I had an armor glove.
You're right, right. Well, I will get you a pair. I completely understand, and you're right. There, the gloves are different sizes, and there's two styles. So, I tried to do the first prototype with removing, like you had mentioned. I ended up doing a separate style, called the procedure pro patient glove because,
Hmm.
you know, pet owners who need to trim their cat or dog's nails or to feel a vein, in vet practice when we have to do a blood draw, clean ears, bathe, whatever we need to do. So there are those two styles, but I appreciate you looking at that diagram because I really did try to put in, so much. The gloves are reinforced in the highest risk bite areas, and they're flexible. You don't have to use a lot of excessive force. In fact, the tagline of Armor Hands, it is more feels, less force. So a goal of it is to be compassionate, compassionate handling, but still do what you need to do to help that animal. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you're
Yeah.
doing just that. You're doing just that. I'm so glad because the uses of it, right? Like you said, I need to trim my cat's nails. Now I
Right.
have a new cat. It's a
Oh,
rescue.
nice.
I gotta
Yeah.
trim her nails. She hates it. So I have
Right.
to, I gotta be protective.
Right. Yes.
Protective for it. And
Yeah.
yesterday I came out and one of my chickens came back home after a week with baby chicks.
Oh, yeah.
And she didn't want me to pick her up. But
Right.
so but I
Right.
had to make sure I can get her somewhere safe and get the baby somewhere safe. So, you got those are the risks you have to take. So
Exactly. Yes, I
mhm.
agree. Yep.
Yep. So it's not just for
Yeah.
veterinarians and animal rescue
Yeah.
people.
Right, right.
Man, I like that.
Yeah.
When you get the call for Animal Planet, like how did that come about? What's going through your
Yeah.
mind to say, we want you on TV, Doc?
Yeah, it was really cool. So Travis, he does a lot of he's a dog trainer and he does a lot of training with dogs and he's awesome. He is like a wealth of knowledge. And so, I connected with him over the gloves and he's been using the gloves to help train the rescues because and it's these dogs, it's natural, they are scared, they're in a new environment, there's a level of anxiety, and so it was really cool to see how he uses the gloves in order to create a safe space. He'll put food actually on the gloves because the gloves are machine washable and get the rescue dog used to the glove, and then he's able to handle and train better. And so it's been really cool because his experience was when he's protected, his stress level decreases. And
Mhm.
as a result, because I think pets are so in tune to our energy that the training goes smoother because the dog is more comfortable because the trainer's energy is positive and it's not as fearful. And so it was kind of cool to learn that aspect about the glove because it's not something that you can see, it's something that you can feel an energy. And when he was talking with me about that, I thought that's really cool because I know especially for cats, it's kind of like less is more, and
Mhm.
they can pick up on our energy if we're anxious. Same with dogs, I believe any animal can. So when we feel more at ease in our handling, I think that benefit only extends to the animals we're working with and helps them as well.
I agree.
Yeah.
100%. No, they say like you get a 1,200-pound horse and he
Right.
can feel a fly like on any inch of his body. So
Yep.
they're vibrating at a very high level.
Yes, I agree 100%.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
I
Yep.
definitely understand that. I will feel much better because a lot of the animals that we have, I think we got close to 60 now.
Jeez.
And
Yeah.
yeah, all of them are rescues except for a few of the chickens, right? And like two
Uh-huh.
ducks. All of them are rehomes or rescues. So they've come from
That's
different
amazing.
backgrounds. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
So being able to have something to, ease into the way, like with some of the pigs, I'm like trying to give them hand treats and, ease
Right.
them into, and you don't know how they're going to react because you don't know what they've been through and you're trying to build that trust. But if I'm not nervous,
Absolutely.
then they're
Right.
less nervous. So I understand what you're saying.
I agree. And that's amazing, like how many animals that you do rescue. I think that is incredible. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. It's actually more because one of the pigs came, she was pregnant. Nobody.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
So
my
we got
gosh.
piglets. We got bacon chicks
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about your practice and being a vet. What was what is one story or one, I guess, experience that you've had with an animal that is just very memorable for you that you might share with us today?
Sure.
We've reached that part of the show where we hook you up with some insider information. And this week, it's all about eating, pet, and pasture. And I got a 20% discount code for you. As farmers, we know the love and care it takes to raise happy and healthy animals. So choose the best when it comes to bedding, premium cut Timothy hay, and treats for your furry and feathery friends. So if you're looking for super absorbent hemp bedding or nesting pads for your laying ladies, look no further than Eaton Pet and Pasture. Check them out right now at EatonPetandPasture.com, and first-time shoppers get a 20% discount by typing in Reec at checkout. That's REEC at checkout. Now let's get back to another excellent adventure.
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to there's all these kind of cases running through my head right now. I feel like there was one just that stuck out in my mind. So in veterinary medicine, of course, we're treating our patients, but we also become very close with the pet owners as well. And we learn their story. And there was one older lady. She was a client of mine. This was probably about 7-8 years ago. And she had just lost her husband to cancer. So it's a sad story. And her elderly dog was diagnosed with cancer also. And so over the course of treatment, I got to know this owner very well, and how she cared for her husband, and she wanted to give the same amount of care and compassion, to her pet. We did as much as we could with, as far as testing, we did, the radiation, chemotherapy, drugs, whatever we could do to kind of still have a good quality of life, but to prolong that as much as we could. And that was very memorable for me because when the pet's quality of life did deteriorate, and he did have a good, I think it was about 6-7 months that he had with the owner. But when the quality of life deteriorated, and I did the euthanasia, and I always kind of say the same kind of script, before the euthanasia, that, the pet may cry out, and it's a natural, it doesn't mean they're in pain, but it's a natural reaction, or there may be some movement, or, I try to, give the owner as much information about things that are possible, during that procedure. And I had felt so bad because I remembered, she did lose her husband, and it's cancer. And we see that so commonly, unfortunately, in, people and pets. But after the euthanasia and everything went peacefully, she just embraced me and gave me the kindest hug. And, she was crying, I was crying. And it was so memorable for me because I think sometimes in vet practice, we're told you kind of want to distance yourself a little bit. And I knew at that moment that I wasn't going to practice that way. Like, to be in 100% was the way that I wanted to be. And I've been that way, pretty much ever since, where that bond with the pet, I think it's equally as important to have that bond with the owner. And I'll never forget that because it was such an emotional moment. And that's always kind of stuck out in my head, that I could provide, even though she was going through another traumatic incident, and involving cancer, but I was able to provide her a level of comfort and support. And so that's always kind of stuck with me. Yeah.
I love that, being in 100%. You know how to read the room, Doc. That's what that is, and being able to empathize with the situation. And it goes so much further than just a doctor-patient relationship.
Yeah.
Right. And
I agree. Yeah, because you think about your pets, you leave work and it's not like you're leaving work. You think about that. And so it really is a way of life, I think, for veterinarians, for sure. Yeah.
No, absolutely. So she was blessed to have you as a doctor.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody wishes they had a vet like you. I promise you that. I
Thank you.
promise you that. Yeah, man, that is an awesome, incredible story. What pets do you have now?
So right now we have 2 dogs. I have Beans and Frank,
I love
and my human boys are 9 and 11. They name the dogs. So
it.
of course, boys at that age, everything is,
Mhm.
everything.
Right.
But
Everything is about
yeah.
flatulence. I
Yes,
understand.
everything. I mean, everything. Yeah. So, yeah, Beans and Frank are our dogs, and one's a mini Sheltie, and then one is a mini Aussie. So,
Cool.
fun dogs. Yeah, and the
Yeah,
boys are awesome with them and take really good care. And yeah, it's fun.
that's cool. Do
Yeah.
you have any I guess one practice pets? Because of my vet, both of my vets, because I got one that just does like the farm animals and one for my dogs and
Sure.
cat. Both of them have cats walking around the office.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, my boys, they've been asking for a cat, and the crazy thing is I've never owned a cat before. So that may be something we have to do. The weird part for me is I have allergies to
Oh
dogs and
wow.
cats, but I'm
That is
okay. It's not severe. But sometimes at work my eyes will be watering,
mhm.
and I think everybody thinks I'm like and I'm like, I'm not crying. I've just got to splash my eyes with water. But I think I do feel like at some point we'll rescue a cat. I think it's needed for our home.
It's on the list.
Yeah, yeah.
Even after your experience with cats, I
Right.
wouldn't blame you if you never wanted one. I
Right.
wouldn't at all.
Right.
That's no $1 million medical bill after one, but you did come up with your product, so I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Aw.
I get it, and I'm allergic. I'm allergic to dander too. So like
Right.
dogs, cats, and the goats and the horses. I'm allergic to all
Yeah.
of them. So
I
sometimes
know
I'm
what you
outside doing the
mean.
same. Yep.
Right.
Oh my
Sometimes it'll
goodness.
hit you hard and you're just
Right.
like, but I know you're still gonna have the pets in your life,
Hmm.
and yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Can you give some of our owners and I see at your practice you do dogs, cats, some small animals too. What's one of the more exotics that has come in and that you're like, okay, I'm gonna try my hand at this.
Yeah, it's funny you ask because so right now I only will see dogs and cats because I the practice I worked at before, the emergency clinic, anything that came through the door we would treat.
Hmm.
And so that was a little hard for me because I just felt like my knowledge base wasn't really there for like ferrets and I mean all of these other small or pocket pets. So I frequently would find myself just like opening a book, reading the medicine, consulting with other veterinarians. I had my last other than a dog or cat case was it was a parrot with an injured wing,
Mm.
and one of my colleagues helped me with that to treat that bird. But ever since then, I've been pretty much just dogs and cats. So most comfortable with that. But yeah, so I've been
I love
sticking
it.
with that. Yeah, yeah.
People don't realize that, when you're a human, right? If I'm a kid, I go to a pediatrician.
Right.
When my teeth are messed up, I go to a dentist, eyes, optometrist, feet,
Yeah.
podiatry. Pets, just go to the vet.
Right.
Doesn't matter what kind of pet it is. Like, oh, doc, you got a golden retriever at 9 a.m. Your 11 p.m. is a ferret.
Right, right. I know. And
Imagine.
it's funny because it is wearing like a lot of different hats. Skin cases will come in, or then there's like a
Mm,
bladder issue. And the good thing is, in because I'm based in Pittsburgh, we
mhm,
have a wonderful one like fabulous specialty clinic. So if there is a case over my head, I can always refer, and they're
mm,
phenomenal. But I know what you mean. It's like, during the day it's a lot of right, treating ears or doing dentals,
mhm.
doing skin. I mean, it's a variety, and it makes it fun, but you do kind of have to have this well-rounded knowledge about all these different body systems. And yeah, it's kind of crazy sometimes.
I know it can be challenging because, like
Yeah.
I said, we got 50,000 different types of doctors.
Right. Yeah.
Vets, go to the vet.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Right.
I get it. That could be very challenging. Tell me
Yeah.
about some tips. Like we got some people out there watching. They've got barn cats, they got dogs, rescue dogs. Let's say we don't know much about having a dog. We want to get a dog, right? Or we have a
Right.
dog and we want to care for it the right way. Can you give us maybe like 4 or 5 great tips that we can hold on to as an owner for
Sure.
dogs, and then maybe 4 or 5 for cats?
Yeah, absolutely. So, for dogs, I'd say, definitely. activity. So you want your dog to, walk your dog, let your dog sniff on walks. It's so important. It actually like has been shown to really highlight different areas in the brain. So it's healthy for their brain. You want to engage them in different activity. I think there's even, I mean, there's so much of a variety of products today, but there's puzzles made for dogs, even for them to eat their food slower. And there's different treat puzzles. So I think enrichment is key. Not just for, mental, but also their body and the physical exercise. Nutrition is good. One thing I'd not advise is like, I do have some clients who have done like homemade diets. It's fine, but you just want to check with your vet to make sure it's balanced, because a lot of times there can be different things missing from the homemade diet that you just may not be aware of. So I think the exercise, mental stimulation, the food, and then I'd say socialization is key too. I know with rescues, sometimes that can be difficult depending what age, but I think to try or work with a trainer, behaviorist, but to really socialize, because that's important as well for their well-being. And then, for cats, kind of the similar thing. You want them to be active, to have the climbing post, scratching post, really to make the environment enriching for them. I think nutrition, of course, is a key factor. You want them well hydrated. We see a ton of kidney disease in cats. And I think sometimes it can be cats just aren't big water drinkers. And so I think to see if they prefer, the flowing water fountain or the water bowl, just try different things, make sure they're getting hydrated. And then I'd say, especially for cats too, just these yearly vet visits, because the sooner we know about something, just generally the better the prognosis is. So I would at least do a yearly vet visits for your pets, so we can do a full thorough exam, maybe check some blood work, see where baseline values are, but just look into preventative medicine too, just to make sure we can keep them as healthy for as long as we can.
So if you're looking to start your flock, add to your flock, or maybe add a few ducks, chickens, or geese, My Pet Chicken is the website for you. And if you're just getting started, they even have a tool to help pick the perfect poultry for your backyard flock. Check them out today at mypetchicken.com. Right now, you can get $10 off when you join the SMS Club. mypetchicken.com. Raise fun, happy, and healthy chickens, from live poultry to coops and supplies. My Pet Chicken has everything you need to start, grow, and maintain your backyard flock. Shop today. mypetchicken.com. I'm so glad you said that. We just got our cat a nut. Like, he has two. She is bougie. She has two water drinkers now, and one does have the little fountain at the top.
The fountain, yeah.
And she like goes between the two. So that is awesome to hear. That is really
that's great you're doing that. Yeah, because I think some cats just don't prefer the water bowl, the standing water. So I'd work with them and see what they prefer, and just make sure they're well hydrated. Yeah.
And it was only like $20 on Amazon, so it's working for us.
Not too bad. Yeah, that's.
I got a question yesterday. I was at a dinner yesterday, and my cousin has a rescue dog. Right, the dog is a beautiful dog, and in the place where it was coming from, it was a rehome, not a rescue, just a rehome.
Sure.
He was saying that if you wanted to keep the weight on the dog, he was feeding the dog chicken, and I was like, my dogs, I would give them chicken sometimes, but sometimes it would make them a little more aggressive when they were trying to eat. So I didn't know if that was any correlation between the two, of raw meat and aggression or not.
I've honestly, I've not heard the correlation. I haven't. I've heard, so some of my clients who have had a really hard time with their pets' allergies have switched to raw diets, and the skin has improved. But I've not heard a correlation with aggression, and it may be something that I'm not aware of, but I've just not heard of that correlation.
Okay. No, we appreciate that information.
So that's something for me to look into. Yeah, I'm glad you asked.
I didn't know, because like one of my dogs, she's perfect when it comes to eating. All of my dogs, make them sit, wait till they put the food down, get the food. As they're puppies, I'll move the bowl around, because I never wanted them or a kid to, pick the bowl up and it'd be an accident. So all of them were always okay with me reaching in their bowl or moving the bowl or something like that. Not to antagonize them, just to, get them ready. But one of my dogs just loved chicken to a point to where if I had it, he was just like, oh, I need it now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
didn't know or not, but that's
Right.
great information. It was probably just that dog.
Yeah, I wonder though, or maybe it's some like an instinct where it's just like, I really want this now,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
something like that. But yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we lost him. He was a rescue, so he
Oh, I'm
was like given a
sorry.
second chance at life. He lived to be the
Yeah.
8. He was, he had a pretty long life
Good. Yeah.
based on his circumstance. He came from
Sure.
like a fighting thing. He was
Oh gosh.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's
yeah,
yeah. I'm sorry to
yeah,
hear that.
yeah. But he lived out his last 6 years with us, and he was
That's
perfect
awesome.
dog.
Yeah,
Right.
that's wonderful.
Other than trying to steal my wings.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But no, that's incredible, Doc, man. We really appreciate you coming on the show and sharing your story
Thank
with us
you.
and talk about such this amazing product. I can't wait. My one of my kids, he's doing his pet grooming service now, so
Oh,
I'm sure
awesome.
he's gonna try to steal my gloves.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's wonderful though that they're yeah, one of your kids is starting this I think that's awesome. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
No,
that's
but
great.
make sure you guys check out the website
Thank you.
armorhandglove.com. It's in the bio in this podcast. Follow Doc online, Armor Hand Glove on social media. I love the post that you have when you're handing off the
Oh,
animals.
yeah.
That
I
was so
know.
cool.
We have like my friend, he's a veterinarian in Sweden, so we
Mhm.
included him. He's
Yeah.
yeah, in that, and I like that bit. It was fun. Yeah, it's fun.
Definitely. If you could
Yeah.
give any person coming out of school, and they're looking to maybe go into this field that you're in, Doc,
Yeah.
if you could give them a piece of advice, what would it be?
That's okay. I think that in our profession, you have to take care of yourself. Unfortunately, in veterinary medicine, and I don't know, a lot of people don't know it, but we do have a very high suicide risk, and the job can be hard. Not every day. It's playing with puppies. We deal with death a lot and conditions that we can't save. The pet's life, and so just there is this epidemic in veterinary medicine of suicide, and I think the one piece of advice I would give is to really, you've got to make your health a priority. Self-care is so important. I know we hear it a ton, but just to be aware of burnout, if you're kind of going down a rabbit hole or spiraling, to reach out, get help. Therapy is amazing, or whatever works for you. But I think all vets need to have a really good understanding that the job it's wonderful and I love it, but it's demanding, and just have to take care of yourself and make your health a priority.
That couldn't have been
Yeah.
put any better. What do you do for self-care?
So I love to walk with my dogs. There's trails near me, which is so I'll go anything in nature. If I'm in outside, that's what does it for me. I think that it just helps to balance everything, and so I'll be with my dogs. I'll walk by myself, playing with my kids. I don't have it's not me. I don't do like spa days. I don't get like my nails done and stuff, but I think just being outside and just taking a moment to breathe, relax, it makes a big difference. Yeah, for
I hear
sure.
that so much on this
Yeah.
podcast. Almost every single body, like, I just go
Yeah.
outside with my chickens,
Yeah.
or I go play with my goats, so I go walk
Yep.
the dog. So yeah,
Yeah, it makes a
back to
big
nature.
difference. Yep, absolutely. For
No,
sure.
Doc, thank you so
Yeah.
much. We
Thank
appreciate your
you.
time. Right. Thank you so much. I want everybody to check this episode out. Go see the video and everything in between. This has been another episode of Excellent Adventures, a protected episode. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Excellent Adventures, powered by Blackyard Chickens.
Now, if you think you want to raise your own backyard flock, here's the site for you, blackyardchickens.com. We make entertaining videos about raising baby chicks from scratch. You know what I mean by from scratch, right? Or maybe you want to learn how to take care of your own big chickens or hens and get those fresh eggs, building a coop or buying a coop, having the necessary things inside that coop to get great egg production. You'll learn a lot of the neat tricks I've picked up along the way from other chicken enthusiasts, and you can get pretty eggs just like those. So follow us on social media and check us out on our YouTube channel.